born ready. I came out the womb ready to talk shit.
Okay, what is this bell? What are we doing with it?
That's the shut up jab bell.
Jab. Fuck. All right. So,
The Power Bottom Power Hour will not be seen at this time, in order that we may bring you something else that we pulled out of our ass.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike.
I'm JB, not BJ.
This is Misty.
And I'm Jab. And this is the Gen X Talk Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? How are y'all doing today?
Good, man. We're good.
Doing awesome.
Man, you know what? These last couple of weeks, I mean, we've talked about Puff Daddy. We talked about O.J. Simpson. And it's like we're hitting all these topics about crime, violence, death, and all this crap, you know? And I'm like, man, when can we do a fun topic? When can we talk about something that's not serious news or whatever? So I figured today would be a good day to do that. So I looked at the calendar and I was like, oh yeah, today's the 25-year anniversary of the Columbine High School massacre. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. But anyways, today.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at how you said it. I'm not laughing about the
I thought we were changing the show. I was like,
I know, right? I was like, wait a minute.
Confused.
What's going on here?
So yeah, on this day in 1999, 12 students and a teacher were killed. 21 more people were injured in the deadliest mass shooting in a K-12 school in U.S. history until other people topped it. But up to this point, it was the deadliest. It also inspired a ton of copycat killings called the Columbine effect, and even deadlier shootings around the world. Now, the people who did this, they were two 12th graders, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. I hope I'm getting his name right. So they actually
wouldn't want to mess that up.
Yeah. You know, but they're dead and they did a bad thing. So if I get your name wrong, fuck you. So yeah, they planned this for a year and they planned to get as many casualties as possible. And initially, I don't know if a lot of people knew this, but their initial plan was to blow the school up.
Damn.
Like, they had a ton of homemade bombs. They actually even planted the bombs in the school, but they failed to detonate. But the investigators, after everything went down, they said that if those bombs had went off, we could have been talking about hundreds dead.
Right. Wow. Yeah. It's crazy.
It was nuts. So, you guys.
Well, I see that they were bullied. I was looking. The kids were bullied because what do you how do you say it? The Columbine? Columbine. Shit, man. Hey, it's early for me still. I'm sipping this coffee. The Columbine. Those kids were bullied. It was a big jock culture. Reading it here on Wiki, and now I remember it's ringing bells. You know, back from when it happened. And golly, that's crazy. And I think about shit. Just even my own high school in Crowley. You know, where most of us went. I think didn't you go Crowley?
For elementary, but then like very short period in high school.
Okay, yeah. But I remember the bullies out there and the country jocks and shit. Could have happened there. Could have happened anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I went to Mansfield too. So, and that's what it was. There was all the little cliques.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullying is always a reason, or, you know, when people do things like that, it's always something that it was related to bullying. Do y'all think that's
right?
Of course, I'm thinking you're not going to say it's excusable, but do you think that's something that people should look into?
Oh yeah, people absolutely should look into it, because this is it's not the first time that someone got bullied and they brought a gun to school. It's not even the first time someone got bullied and brought a gun to school to shoot somebody.
Right.
It's just the first time that someone brought a gun to school to shoot everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because there was a kid in Mansfield that was getting bullied about a year or so ago. And I was at Arlington School District, and he shot a kid and shot a pregnant teacher.
Yeah.
Remember that? I think he just got sentenced.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, and these kids.
And he actually got attacked at school. Like, the guy was beating the shit out of him.
He just got,
He got the gun out and he was.
These particular kids, they actually killed themselves afterwards.
Yeah.
So that's got to be pretty severe to think that you would do what you did and then also kill yourself.
I might have been mentally disturbed.
Yeah, but
a lot going on in
that's what a lot of people
minds.
say. Yeah.
Sometimes I think people use mental illness as kind of a cop-out deal. So they don't have to deal with it. It's like, hey, well, there was something wrong with the shooter, and I don't have to cope with the fact that I might have caused this person to become that way.
Right.
They could have been on drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah. I think it's all just bullshit. Like, to get away. People get bullied every day. We grew up in a house where we got bullied. We called it high-siding. Like, me and my brothers, sisters, we talk shit to each other. You know, sometimes we'll say stuff like, your mom's a crackhead. And we had the same mom. You know what I mean? So, like, stuff like that would have never caused me at school to do anything like that because it's like our culture. Like, just jabbing. Like, that's nothing. You know, just poking fun or whatever. But I notice when it comes to people in situations like this, it's like, oh, they got bullied. I'm like, what was getting bullied? You know, it wasn't even bullying in my home.
Yeah.
It was just life. You know, there's not a lot of food. Your brother might take your food from you.
Yeah. And I was also going to say, I went back and looked at like the first school shooting, and it was back in 1764 or something like 46.
Damn.
And what it was,
they barely had guns back then.
I know. It was like a little
got it with a slingshot.
It was like a little pistol in his hand.
Stab you with
But it was because he went to go kill the teacher that was punishing his sister, I believe it was. So it's people also taken up for either siblings if they're going to school together. So there's a bunch of other reasons as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting. The FBI said that Harris was a psychopath who exhibited narcissistic traits, unconstrained aggression, lack of empathy. And the other guy, Klebold, was just an angry, depressive with a vengeful attitude towards individual he's believed was mistreating him.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, so it's interesting to read that. So that you're right. You know, they had some serious mental disorders. Shit.
But
then you don't know who that could be. I mean, that could be
everybody.
anyone in your school.
We all have mental issues, and if that's the case, like I could have got pissed off at you earlier, and then he pissed me off, so I shot him.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I'll definitely say this: it's probably true, but it's still not justification. And sometimes when people say these things, it's like justification. You know, like not justification, like it's okay that they did it, but we need to be more sympathetic toward them. And maybe if we start caring more, children wouldn't do this. And it's like, no, that's not it. Because that's just not it. I mean, that's just my opinion. That's not it.
Yeah.
These people, they need to get locked up. Well, if he shot himself.
Well, And there's even shootings that are like by the schools that aren't in the schools, but they're not even reported as being done. There was one not too long ago in Burleson. Where there was another student who shot another one and they died, but because it wasn't on school property, they didn't report it.
Yep.
So nobody really knew about it.
There was one at Pascal too. I think last year, a Hispanic child, he got killed. I don't know if it was related to race or not, but they just made a big deal about him being Hispanic. I think his parents had, they immigrated here and, for a better life. And then he ended up still getting killed. And he was on his way to college and all this. Yeah, you're right. And it happened too like during lunch, like off campus.
Like, yeah.
And I think it was a kid that like went to a different school that came up there and done it or whatever.
Yeah,
that happens. I was speaking about this and I was saying a little bit earlier, and I'm going to sound insensitive. I am, but I don't really pay much attention to these mass shootings at schools. In my opinion, and I know I'm off on it, it seems like every election year, this is what we have. Like, there's always some mass shooting of schools, and it's going to be related to gun control. Like, very soon, there's going to be some politician. This is why we don't need guns, isn't it? But there's cities like Chicago where more people get killed every weekend, especially during the 4th of July weekend and during the summer. And there's statistics that show this. Hundreds of people, back in, I think, 2016, 2017 in Chicago, innocent people, just from gang violence. And so sometimes it's like people don't care until it's kids at one time makes it worse.
Yeah.
But it's really all the same. I mean, what's the difference in 12 people at a school at one time or 12 people or 400 people in a month in a neighborhood? Or
like in a neighborhood. And stuff
so,
like that. Yeah.
So that's why I don't.
And this gun control, I would want to have a gun to protect myself from anybody else who has them that shouldn't have them.
Right. Because criminals are not going to follow the law. Right. So even if we were to, like that, what is the solution, or what do people think is the solution for things like this? Is it therapy for children? Is it parents, you need to talk to your kids more? Like I don't think there's a solution. I just think it's something I don't even know what
else you could do, because there's already that in school where there's the, the counseling, the be good to your neighbor, all that stuff going on.
I mean, you could have, I guess, metal detectors and, check everybody every day. But
they already have them.
Yeah, but a lot of schools that do have that, the people only go there because they don't have a choice. Yeah. Most people, where they have to do that, where you have to do that, a lot of people don't go to those schools. So, and then if they start doing that, you would remove your kid anyway because you just don't feel safe. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how adding more safety measures will make people actually feel less safe about the school.
Yeah.
I think that one thing that has really changed is that a lot of times these kids, and I know that you said that this wouldn't work, but I think it would work, is if you teach kids to be nicer to people, or at least to teach your kid to be nice to the outcast. So if something does go down, they won't shoot you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's what they do in Burleson. That's like their whole motto, don't bully, be nice, all that stuff.
But it's just going to happen.
Include other people type thing. So,
but
then you still had the shooting that was just right outside the schoolyard.
And it's not always bullying. Like they say that. The masses will label it. Well, he was getting bullied. Sometimes people just get into arguments. An argument, everything is not bullying. If me and you are talking and we're disagreeing and, well, I don't like this and I don't like that, and I say something, you say something about me, is that really bullying or is that an argument?
Yeah.
You know, and if I get pissed off and I shoot up the place,
an intense discussion.
Well, they were bullying me, or both of you all agree. Yeah. Y'all feel the same way. I feel different. Does that mean y'all are bullying me? You know what I mean? If you think you're stupid.
Well, yeah. When you're younger, that's what you think. That's what you think is happening when you're younger.
Yeah,
you're not.
Well, but you're not a psychopath.
I think they're being told that.
That's true.
If there's a psychopath, then it's like they were going to do that regardless. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah. Another thing we got to look at too when it comes to these mass shootings in schools is that one thing that kind of makes Columbine unique is that I believe that it's pretty rare that you see a school shooting that the perpetrator was actually a student. In a lot of these, it's an adult that comes to the school and shoots it up.
For real? Were these the kids that had the leather jackets, the trench coats?
Trench coat mafia, yes.
Mm-hmm. Golly, I remember. You know how you said it's coming back to you?
Yeah.
It just clicked.
Yeah.
Bing. I remember that. 'Cause I was about to say, what about the ones in the trench coats? They didn't go to school there?
Yeah, they were the same students. People. Like, I think Uvalde, Texas, I think that was an adult. Sadney Hook, I think that was an adult who did the shooting.
How old was the adult?
I can't tell you that much.
I think.
But they were both, I'd say they're young adults. I'd say that none of them were over 40. But they definitely were not children.
Yeah. What about today's time? You just said they planned this for a year. See, they wouldn't have, I don't think that would have flew this day and time. Because some idiot would have texted to one of his friends or something and we would have found out. You get what I mean? Like this day and time, I think that even though there's more technology, maybe it'd been easier to get the shells or the bomb or whatever. But I don't think that it would have been able to get planned out for a year, that perfectly planned without getting caught. Somebody would either text somebody or told the wrong person or posted it on TikTok or sent a message through the messenger and it would have gotten discovered.
I think that people knew about this. I want to say that someone found one of the pipe bombs before anything went down. I want to say that one of the kids even got in trouble at some point, but nothing else really happened. I think in a lot of these, I mean, there are red flags everywhere and the authorities tend to ignore it until something actually happens.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I just know this day and time. I just feel like one of those kids would have like called his friend or messaged him on what's that thing? What's the other one? Snapchat. Yeah, they would have Snapchatted and somebody would have saw it.
Well, it's like one recently where he like sent it was he sent a picture of him, and then it was somebody in another country saying that he just killed his grandmother, and then went and did a shooting.
Wow. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. I thought about making a bomb one time. I did, but being that I fuck up everything, it'd probably blow up on me if I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'd be worried about.
That's what I'm serious. I thought like, man, that's cool. I wanted to, research it. And then the first thing I said to myself is I'll probably fuck up and it'll probably go off on me.
Yeah. It'll probably explode your hands. Yeah. I personally think the reason these shootings happen so much more now is because we have the media that sensationalizes it now. So, and we can't help but do it in a way. And it also desensitizes us to even giving a shit because it happens so much.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like it's just.
So it's like half of us, oh, it's another one of those. The other half of us like, oh my God, look at those. And then you got the kids, like to get back to the, how do you say it,
Uvalde, yes.
They were actually kids, but they were adults. They were a former student. He was 18. He was bullied, again, reading it. He was bullied, came back into the school system. And I was Googling, most of your shootings in schools are actual kids or former students that barely graduated. Like they're they still get that young mind, that 18, 19, 20-year-old mind.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I was thinking, and it's interesting learning that and looking at that. I think the biggest reason they do it is because it's just so sensationalized in media that it teaches them, it shows them. It's like, and then they want to go out with a blaze of glory.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the crazy part is why did you do it after you graduated? It's kind of like, have you guys seen Full Metal Jacket, the movie?
Yeah.
That's when I were able to get the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Gomer Pyle, they were bullying him and he finally snapped. But he snapped like after he passed boot camp. He was already done. All he had to do was walk out the door. And that was the day he decided to go kill the sergeant and kill himself. And that's what some of this stuff looks like. It's like you graduated. Go get a job. You don't have to come back and do the money.
They had to get a job to get the money to do it.
Right. And they had to be 18 to buy the gun.
That's another
That's the thing. That's what it is. I'm just looking at that's the reason is they have to be.
Weren't there like rifles that they used? Or
Yeah.
You can buy those at 18.
Yeah, absolutely. So they got them and they're still pissed. They were more mad at the teachers than they were the students in that one.
Yeah, and they may have not planned to do it when they bought the gun, but once you have a gun, sometimes, and I know this from young people having guns, sometimes a gun makes you feel more powerful. Like if I didn't have a gun and I'm walking up to three guys, I probably, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But then you have a gun on you and it's like, get out my fucking way.
Yeah.
And sometimes that gun and being immature in the mind is just a bad combination itself.
Yeah.
So that may be the reason too. I don't think if we ever actually could understand it, then we would probably be doing the same thing.
Yeah,
so I don't think people that are, I guess you could say normal or people who wouldn't do this type of thing, I don't think we would ever fully understand.
Yeah.
Like, well, why did you do it this way or what? Cause they're screwed up in the head.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
it's just like, I had a situation and I don't want to say who was, but it was someone that I know close to me and they got into a bad situation where they were gonna take some pills, but they took the pills. It's not funny, but they took the pills and they took a shower and got all dressed, got ready for the next day. And when they were asked, well, why did you get ready for the next day? They were getting ready for school and all that. So it tells you like they're taking pills, but at the same time they're getting ready for school tomorrow. So that tells you their mind, it just like slips for a split second or a little while. And in that time, there's no telling what can take place.
Yeah.
So it could have been, that they lost their girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then plus all the stuff at school, or they could have had a girlfriend still a senior at the school and she, left them to be with another boy. You never know everything.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, people it doesn't take much to set people off these days,
We should bring a killer on one day and just talk to him. So why do you think the way you think?
Where would we get them from? Wouldn't they be in jail?
Hey,
Right.
see, we know some motherfuckers out this.
There might be somebody you might know.
Okay, you're right.
They better not admit to it.
Let's bring in an alleged killer.
Yeah, that's the same. But you see how that made sense for a second, and then you thought about it.
Yeah,
that's really how I think things work with the bat. You know, with the bat, in a split second of their mind, it sounds like the thing to do. Yep. And then after they've done it, they probably like, damn, why did I do
remorseful?
That? Yeah, or why did I do it? And that's why I think some of them even kill themselves. Like, they already know they're done. Yeah, and they're scared. A lot of people don't want to deal with it. A lot of these people are not, you know, the animals that we think they are. They're scared to go do time, I'm sure. That's probably why they kill themselves. Sure. They're cowered out. I don't want to deal with this.
No.
This is even
or they're in there and they get on medication and then they're like, dang.
And this is with anybody. I mean, you got regular men that have just been abusive with their wives or kill their wives and then kill themselves. It's all the same. I think people get pushed to a point and they make decisions that are irrational at certain times, and then there you go. And I think when it's children, we just more try to define it because we have to. Like we can't just write it off. Well, somebody does, but we can't all just write it off.
No,
I mean, but if it had just
you got to put the blame somewhere.
Yeah, you got to try to make people understand it so that they will accept it.
Yeah.
So we talked about bullying being one of the reasons, but another thing that really, really came up during this time was violent video games and violent music.
Yeah.
Apparently, they were both big Marilyn Manson fans, and they were into video games, first-person shooters, and that sort of thing.
Right.
And a lot of the politicians really started talking big about that. But and I've had this conversation with people all the time, you know, having been in the game development game and talking to people that are in that business. Yes, violent video games, violent music, those things can influence people. I mean, we'll try to say that it doesn't, but it actually does, but not to the level of committing violence unless you just have a complete steady diet of that and nothing else, no counterbalance.
Right. Well,
like nobody's going to listen to one NWA song and go do a drive-by.
Well, we have to, like I said, they use it as an excuse in certain crimes, but there's gang violence every day and people kill people, and the judge does not take that as an excuse, but it definitely plays a role. Especially with it's about the mindset of a person.
Yeah.
You got to look at it like this. I'm 45 years old and I don't listen to rap music today like the way I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I still listen to some of the old rap.
Yeah.
I don't listen to the new stuff too much. But I'm going to say at, 25, 26, I probably slowed down because I had my child. So of course I didn't listen. But if I'm 25, 26 years old and it's playing in the car all the time and my child is in the back seat, and she grows up listening to this she doesn't even know how to read yet. And she's already hearing, I shoot a motherfucker. I kill you, bitch. Hell yeah, it's going to play a role in her way of thinking.
Definitely.
Now, you got, like you say, when it's just that, when you have a balance of this and that, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say it's their fault, but once you're 18 or get older, then you're responsible for yourself. But it definitely starts younger.
Yeah.
I remember listening to certain music and I would see even it could be a love song. It could be slow music.
Yeah.
And, you see your child in the back, or when we were kids, you see mom and daddy, they're not listening to rap and cussing.
Yeah. No.
They're listening to like the Isley Brothers.
Right.
But when it starts talking about making love and mama's in the passenger side and she starts rubbing on that, as a child, you see that.
Right.
It affects you.
Yeah.
It does. Your eyes get big or you're like, what?
So what you're saying is that's why AIDS is so popular, because back in the 70s, all they talked about was fucking.
Baby, so setting it up. That's just true. To make people start having sex, I think they were.
No, I mean, it's a good analogy.
But it definitely affects that child in the back seat differently than it affects that adult. Yeah. So if they grow up listening to this and nobody's telling them, no, you can't. Hey, turn that shit off.
Yeah.
Right.
No, because our parents told us to turn that shit off.
Oh, yeah.
But there was somebody whose parents said, hey, as long as they're not acting up, I don't care.
Yeah.
Hey, put your headphones on.
Right.
And all the parents wanted was this little crazy motherfucker to shut the fuck up and quit running around the house. That was,
I agree.
Just sit still.
I agree with you. It's interesting.
And it makes a difference.
I do. I agree 100%. I think that what you consume, what goes in your head, will change the way you think. And it's interesting. I was reading a fact the other day that the human mind in men, I don't know about women, but in men, slows down in thinking around 23, 24. So all that prior.
When y'all mature.
It's when we begin.
When you begin.
But I think when you consume, because you said it was great, actually. You know, when you consume certain shit when you're younger, you see it differently, and then when you're older, you can even think back the way you saw it and laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
not to mention other dysfunctional things around, like a rap song. And I'm going to use you, JB, only because I know you. You grew up in a 2-parent home. You had your family there.
Yep.
Okay, if you're listening to some stuff talking about shooting and killing the school, but you have parents that slap you upside the face for that kind of stuff and teach you right in this.
Yeah.
Even though you heard that, that's not right.
Yeah.
But if, let's just say you're in a 1-parent home and your mom's at work and you get home from school and you're by yourself and you're listening to this and you're home bored and there's nothing to do. Yeah. Not to mention when you go to school, you don't like it because kids are fucking with you every day.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't tell anybody, and your mom doesn't have time to go to the school because she has to work.
Yeah.
You're the same child. I guarantee, I'm willing to bet the little money that I have, I'm willing to bet all of it, that child in that situation, it's going to have a totally different response. I know because I grew up around children like that. Yeah. I grew up where my friends could listen to Too Short and cussing and this. I did it too, but this is what I had to do. I had to get a tape player and I had to wait till my parents were asleep. I had to get under my covers and play it real low just to try to hear a cuss word. Oh man, I heard a cuss word. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. And you had to get the tape from maybe one of your friends who had an older brother because you had to be at least 17 to buy it. Yep. So I wasn't old enough. So you get one from your friend who has an older brother and you have to wait till your parents are asleep. And if you have to go through all that, it's not, but if the parent is saying it's okay and hey, I can do it. That's what I think kind of happens. Yeah. I think it's not just that, but it's a lot of things together.
Yeah, it's a lot of things together. But once I grew up in a house where they didn't cuss.
Yeah, there you go.
Even if you said hell, that was
I would never know that by talking to you.
But it made a difference though when you were at school and when you were out.
Yeah, it's different. It's like,
you may cuss
when I was with my friends, it was a little different.
But you knew not to.
I knew not to say hell whenever I was at home.
Now that I think about it, maybe we know now why Mike's so scarred and likes to talk about crazy shit because he saw his mom. Was it his dad? He saw his mom butt naked. Yeah,
he saw that picture.
When he was young. So now
I saw a picture of my mom once. I mean, that had nothing to do with anything.
It might have. I never saw mine. So, and you got to remember this, Mike. Don't get upset. But he knew what he was looking at because I wouldn't probably know who the hell is this?
Well, I would hope that there's not another naked woman in my house.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, it was more joking, Mike, not serious. But.
Yeah, but another thing I wanted to get into, just to kind of sort of get back to this, is we were talking about the music. I think, like what you both have been saying, is that what you consume is really gonna affect how you behave and how you respond to certain things. Like, I say people who listen to almost exclusively country music, they tend to be more patriotic. They tend to be more family oriented. They tend to be more religious. I think people who listen to different types of music, they kind of take on the personality of what they listen to the most.
Yeah, that's true. Or maybe they already are that personality and that's why they like that. That's why they're attracted to it.
But is it? Or
it could be either way.
Draws it to them.
Do you like the music because it's what you like, or do you like it because it's what you've been exposed to for so long?
Mine is more like the beat, the tones, the stuff like that. Sometimes the words.
I believe as an adult, it's you like what you like. But I think in my younger days, it's more what you've been exposed to because I like a lot of country. I love the blues. Yeah. I love gospel music, and I'm not even like religious or nothing. Like I'm not a Christian, but I love Christian music. With like the songs, and I noticed that country music, Christian music, and the blues, they're all kind of similar to me. Like even some of them have the same beats. Like you listen to a gospel song, I know. Well, with the black gospel songs, you're like, damn, that's the same shit. Damn, blues man was the same beat. Yeah, he's playing with God. Words. Yeah, they're playing with God.
Yeah.
What's his name? Ray Charles, known for it. So, but as a child, I probably would have been scared to say, like, around my friends, listen to some church music. You don't want them to.
Right.
So, it may be exposure. Or you may not know you like country because you were just taught as a child, like, we don't listen to that shit.
Right.
Then you get older and you're like, this shit's all right.
Like, hey,
we're
that's pretty cool.
boogie.
I personally think I think genetics has to do with it. I'll be honest with you. I think because it's been proven, even in animals, they did audio sensory type neuroscientific studies, and they'll put, this is true. I know it sounds silly, but they put like monkeys and I think it was chimpanzees or one of the more intelligent, whichever one it is. I think orangutan is the most intelligent. Seriously, no, I like it, bro. I'm just laughing because like, damn, I would have never known this. No. Like yeah. And so what they do is they put all these I think it was orangutans, monkeys, and they put music. Oh, there was two species. It was both. That's what it was. They had different species of monkeys, literally. And they all started responding differently to different music and different beats. And I personally think that what you get is you get a lot of genetic dispositioning when it comes to music. I really do.
Do we come from monkeys?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not talking about.
I know. I was just wondering if you.
No, that's a whole other show.
Boy, I know a couple of brothers that want to kick your ass for saying that.
Yeah, right. But I'm talking in terms of just
evolution is real.
Yeah,
I think you're bullying me.
Yeah, but I mean, look at us as humans. Yeah, it's time for the bell. Ring that motherfucker. But I do think that maybe there's something to that because when you look at societies and you look at races and folks, you could just see different dispositioning. And I think it's a genetic thing. I really do. I think genetically we're different. We have different,
you try to say we're the same.
No, we're different.
Yeah. But even with food, you can tell.
Yeah.
There's certain foods. If you look at the regions where certain people supposedly come from, that food is good for them. Yeah. When I'm only saying this in,
except America, where the food's not good for
anybody. Southern food.
But I know that they had this plant, this mocha leaf that comes from like a region in Africa. And I started taking it and it lowered my blood pressure. Like my blood pressure's been good. Yeah. I noticed certain foods I'm not supposed to eat. If you ever watch like Asian people or Hispanic people, like really, they only eat food, like the same kind of food. You don't see them like at McDonald's or wherever in the grocery store buying, So I think you're 100% right.
Is it that certain food are good for certain people, or is it just the fact that food in America isn't good for anybody?
I think food in America
is probably not good for anybody, but regardless, people who know especially their culture and know
Southern comfort food.
That they eat food. If you look on the internet and say a Mediterranean food, people from there eat that type of food. You don't see them eating. Now, I'm not just saying American food. You don't see them eating Mexican food. You don't see them. So it's got to be a difference.
I agree with you, and it's interesting because in fitness they talk about this. Like the lighter your skin, generally, the more you like cold weather, the more you like fishy salmon. The darker your skin, the more you go for warmer weather. You go for more meats, poultries, things of that nature. Yeah. And I think it's because our bodies have got to be made to adapt to where we're at.
Right.
Right? True. Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
It's just because I breed Rottweilers. And if you get the ones from Germany, they have long haired Rottweilers. Yeah. You can literally buy 2 of them.
Right.
Two of them.
Yeah.
And breed them over here and have puppies. Those puppies never grow that long hair.
It's cold.
Because it doesn't get that cold here. Yeah. Their bodies automatically they adapt to, even if they start to, they're going to shed it. Yeah. They're going to shed fast. And, and if they're breeding 2 or 3 generations, they don't look like it. So, yeah.
All right, y'all. So at the end of the day, don't shoot each other, kids. Stay in school because sometimes it's still safer there.
And if you do, blame it on the music.
Absolutely.
Or the video games.
The music and the video games.
Or bullying.
And you got bullied.
Yeah.
But hey, y'all, it's time to move forward today. So let's eat with Jab.
What's going on? We're vibing with Jab. So what are we doing today, y'all?
Well, today we are doing Ask Jab Anything.
Oh, man.
So we're going to each ask him a question, and he agreed that he will answer it pretty much however he damn well pleases.
Ask him anything?
Anything?
Y'all can see this is...
Whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's related to something. Don't ask me to sleep with anyone. Don't ask me for money.
You know, so
why don't you borrow $1,000?
No, I actually owe somebody more than that, and I would think that if I even did, it would just no. But I wouldn't mind helping you plan something to go take $1,000.
Why don't you? I was intrigued to expand upon what you were talking about earlier about evolution. Give me your thoughts on that.
I believe that at this point it doesn't matter. I believe that we're all fish. That's what I believe. I believe we all started as fish. Because even no matter what, we were in our mom swimming, weren't we? In water.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe. I believe everything started as a fish. And from a fish, we all evolved we started as a fish.
I was going to say in your dad
and we evolved to where we are now. That's what I really believe about evolution.
I'm sorry to listen to you. Say that to him.
Yeah.
You're not in your mom swimming. You're in your dad swimming.
No.
Well, eventually you swim up in your mom.
Yeah. Yeah. And then once you're in your mom, you're swimming too. You're in water. Isn't that what our water breaks?
Yeah. No. Yeah. You're right.
That's true. That's true.
You swim into the egg. Boom.
Yeah.
But you see, he's right. Both y'all are right.
True.
Yeah. We're both right. I didn't even go as far back as you went. Yeah. But I was thinking and that's what I think we are. I think we started as a fish and we're swimming and just like tadpoles and they turn into frogs. I think that's what everybody does.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was easy. I thought y'all could ask me some shit that I could piss some people off.
All right.
No, I think you're monkeys. This is what I think. I think the black people are monkeys. And I
got a question for him.
The white people are apes. No, this way.
I can ask him one.
I really joke.
I got a question for him if it would make people mad.
It's whatever you want, bro.
Do you think a woman should have a traditional role in a relationship and serve a man more than a man should serve a woman in the physical sense and the nurturing sense? Now, hold on. Let me sit back here for a minute.
Yes. I believe, I know this is what I honestly believe. If I'm going to be for I believe when all of this, when they talk about roles and male and female roles, and I'm going to make this quick because we got this, it depends on the couple. Everybody has to set the tone for, and this is being real. I hope y'all can learn something. Everybody has to set the tone for their own relationship. You know, if I could marry Oprah Winfrey, I probably would. And I don't expect her to serve me shit. Because Oprah is making billions of dollars and I'm going to play the role that I need to for us to work. You know, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
So if that's what a man desires and he's in that position, then he has to find a woman who feels the same way. And that's what works for you all. But what we can't do is look at other people's relationships and relationships in the past and then try to base ours off of that. Now, you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what I really believe. So yes, in some situations, women are naturally by nature more nurturers.
Yeah.
So yes, and men are more to go out and hunt. But in today's time, there's women that are hunting and there's men that are nurturing. So I guess it's what you desire, communication, discussion about it. And no way is really wrong if it works for you all. But if it doesn't work for you all, then that's where the issue is.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So be a bitch if you're male. It's okay.
All right.
It's okay.
Mike.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. Who is the most badass person in history that nobody knows about?
Well, nobody knows about him, dude.
Someone that you know about that you think is badass, but no one else really thinks about that person as a badass.
That motherfucking Kanye. Two people, Kanye West and Donald Trump. Those are the baddest motherfuckers walking on earth. And I'm going to tell you why. One reason Kanye was able to go into the White House and he doesn't even have I believe you have to have a certain culture, like to be, I'm not talking about just to go because you won the Super Bowl, but for somebody to really listen to your ideas. And he was smart enough to get with somebody and change his whole freaking, like we were talking about DNA. He just changed the genetics of his whole future.
Yeah.
And then Trump is just such a bad motherfucker because he's on trial and he's running for president. I know motherfuckers on trial that can't even get a fucking job at McDonald's.
How do you do that?
And this motherfucker's running for president. So I don't think
Jeopardy.
He's bad, man. I like both of those. I like both of those people, and I don't think people are really paying them attention. I think instead of hating them, I think people should really study them and try to be like them. Yeah. Those are two bad motherfuckers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't care about that. Who's that woman he was with?
Stormy?
Which one? One of the Kardashians.
Oh, you talking about Kanye or Donald?
Kanye.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. A lot of people down him for that, and they say stuff like, "Oh, she was messing with all these men." Do you know how rich he became once he was with her?
Yeah.
some of you guys are out here falling in love with a girl that fucked your homeboy in high school. Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Who cares what she did? I don't know. I think that people should look into them and follow them. That's what I'm going to try to do. Marry a Kardashian.
Marry a Kardashian.
Grab women.
You'll be set.
Grab women by the crotch.
Grab women, marry a Kardashian. Well, hey, y'all. That was Jab.
Yeah, that was me.
All right, Jab.
Misty, what do you have for us today?
I don't know. What?
You get to ask her questions, or is her segment different?
We can do whatever Misty wants to do.
I don't know if I read the whole thing of what's going on.
Okay. Well, let's jump to Jeremy.
What? I feel like I'm on the spot.
Is there anything you want to talk about? Or do we get to quick?
Mike, why don't we talk more about you? I think I've vented myself out on the show, and what's on your mind? What you must have something brewing in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do have something on my mind. First of all, pause. Jab, can you move to the right just a little bit? You're almost out of camera.
I'm sorry.
All right, we're good now.
I stink, and I didn't want Misty to have to smell me. I'm sorry.
All right. Unpause.
There you go.
Okay. You guys are probably wondering why
Lord.
There's a bell on the table. The reason why that bell is there is because I am about to read an article that came from the news. This is a real legit article. And you guys can have a designated bell ringer, or you can each ring the bell. Okay. But what I would like for y'all to do is ring that bell every single time you guys hear a red flag in this article. Ready?
Okay.
Every time we hear a what?
A red flag. Like something that's not quite right that's going on here.
Something that's not right
in the article.
Factually, or something I don't think is right. I don't agree with it.
Something you don't think is right.
Yeah, that's like a red flag to you.
Okay,
like this. If this was a female, this would make you say, "No, I'm not going to fuck her."
Yeah.
No, better not have kids with her.
Got you.
Better not invite her to my house. Fur on the carpet.
Jab.
We thought it was a shut me the fuck up bell, and it doesn't work.
Apparently not. No.
I'm done. I'm in a good mood now. I'm sorry, y'all.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right, let's start. A Texas nurse was
whatever.
A Texas nurse was arrested after explicit videos of her and her dog were discovered on her husband's phone. Jolie Keene, a family nurse at Total Men's Primary Care, was arrested after police discovered recordings of inappropriate interactions between her and a Great Dane on her husband's phone when they confiscated it during an unrelated interaction.
Can we say who's doing the bell?
Yeah.
Whoever.
Who's doing the bell, Mike?
Anybody.
Anybody.
Anytime you hear something that's a red flag.
You haven't heard any red flags?
Not yet, because I don't know what it all is yet.
Well, just you're cool. Just keep reading.
Yeah, I think she should say.
Okay, I'm already like.
I think Misty's designated
I got
bell ringer.
Yeah, she's a bell ringer, and I agree with her. Yeah, keep going. Keep telling the story.
Okay.
All right. Her husband, William Mitchell Keene, was arrested on March 13th for allegedly masturbating at an HEB in Spring, Texas.
I did that once. Was he in his own car? It's his car. He can do what he wants. Keep going. This is fun, man. I love this.
He is accused of touching himself while following children around the store.
Oh, shit. Damn.
And has been charged.
What is this?
With indecency with a child by exposure.
Do we really have to ring the bell here? I mean, some of it's kind of common sense.
Yeah, no, just keep going. Let's keep doing let's keep playing the game.
Due to an investigation by police, William's phone was confiscated, which revealed disturbing footage of his wife involved in intimate acts with the family dog. A search warrant for the family's residence was issued and more evidence was obtained. There are two children, 18 and 10.
No, go.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
This is going to be through the whole thing. I don't know.
I bet you it's going to be a catch to it. Like they probably let them finish. I bet you it's a catch.
Okay.
Their 2 children were subsequently removed from the house as well as their 3 dogs.
Everybody getting
this motherfucker still found a date online and fucking she read all this shit. Go ahead.
On March 27th, the couple was arrested and released on bond shortly after.
Don't release them.
53-year-old Jolie is charged with bestiality, while William, who goes by Mitchell, is charged with possessing fewer than 100 images of child pornography.
His name is a red flag.
Yeah.
Anytime they use your middle name in an article, you know you did something fucked up.
Because William is supposed to be Beal or something, not freaking Mitchell.
Yeah. It's William Mitchell Keene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too many syllables in his name. He was fucked up from the start.
Okay, bro had sex. I mean, okay, he's following kids around, jerking off. His wife is getting it in with a dog.
Yeah, nobody's safe. No. Nobody's safe.
I don't know what kind of music you had to be listening to get that mentality going. Or what kind of bullying you had to have for that. I mean, that is just wild. And I know there are people who have kinks, but that is like way over the top.
Yeah. So what happened to
what
him?
is this story
What is
about?
like, we're not, why are we talking about this?
That was the article.
There was an article. So
we have to ring a bell?
The article.
What's the heading of it? Yeah, it's what Mike wanted to do. Yeah, come on, man. Don't do that.
No, I'm trying to figure out what it is. We're doing.
What's the heading?
This is Mike's segment.
It was Mike's segment. Damn, y'all understand?
Jam had asked me anything.
I had to ask me anything. He had his article. He wants us to ring the bell when we hear shit that's fucked up.
Damn, that whole you should reverse it. Ring the bell when you don't hear something fucked up.
Yeah. Exactly.
But what I want to know is from you, Mike, is do you know what the outcome of this situation was? Like if they got away or let them off on bond or probation or
they're both free. They're both free on bond.
But also it hasn't been finalized yet.
It's still going.
Okay.
Yeah. The trial or whatever it is.
Because I was like, if they let them, I thought we was gonna find all this messed up stuff and then find out that they were like set free.
That's what I said.
No charges filed, or charges dropped, or something like that. And I was just waiting to get pissed off.
Yeah, they're out on bond. Like this just happened a month ago.
Wow.
Oh,
like March 27th, Spring, Texas.
Spring, Texas.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, shout out to Michaela Coleman for bringing this article to my attention.
I just want to say that I have a dog that I think would like to go there. I think he would.
Oh my gosh!
He just might.
No.
Mike, I got a question for you.
I mean, their house is like a P. Diddy party, really.
I don't know.
For dogs.
Oh my goodness! Right.
What if she was just simply into bestiality, none of the other stuff, and she was just hot as she could be? And she decided, you know what, I'm never going to do it again. That was just stupid me. I don't know why. And then she wanted to be with you. Would you consider it?
Oh, my God.
Dude, does her pussy have fleas?
No.
I mean, seriously, what the fuck? Can you really mess with a girl after? Okay.
That's just scary.
There's a lot of two-legged dogs out there. I think that, this is kind of cool that he brought this up because I think this is where we're going. Because first, they started allowing, right now it's acceptable that men can be women and women can be men, all that stuff. The next thing that you're about to start seeing.
Where's that bell? He gonna get us canceled, y'all.
No, the pedophilia community is coming up. Next is going to be okay for a human to say, I feel like I'm a kid at heart. And next thing you know, people who are over 18 that feel like a kid are going to be able to date children. And that's probably going to be in 200 more years. And then 200 more years after that. Yeah, I think I'm a freaking dog, or you think you're a horse, and damn, think about a human woman and a horse.
Like in other countries, I mean, you can marry.
Might be deadly, but either way, there's it's probably coming, man. It may just be years and years, down the line.
Well, there are cultures where that shit's kind of happening anyway.
No, all this stuff is happening. I'm talking about where we actually in America accept it. It's sad to say, but we're just.
I don't think we ever will. I don't think we ever will. I don't know.
Well, they do it in other countries, and
we're in other countries, but I don't know.
We're adapting everything else. See, that's the thing. You can't see it happening, and I probably couldn't if I didn't think like this. But the people who think like us, we're going to be gone. So they're introducing things slowly. Because think about it. Let's go back 100 years.
Yeah, you
couldn't have dated me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And somebody would have said, "Oh, that's never going to be allowed. You're date the fucking slave, the nigger? No, we can't do that. Hell no." And there were people still sneaking in doing it, sneaking with the slaves, sneaking with the black and white or whatever, the Native American, whatever.
Right.
But now it's actually accepted, and now, it's almost going to be like a new race. Yeah. And then there was people at one time that probably would have swarmed down. A man better not be with a man. That probably was worse than being with the slave.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because at least the slave master could legally sleep with his slave. Yeah. I don't think he could sleep with a regular, male.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think so.
And people probably would have, Jim Bowie, Davy Crockett, whoever the motherfuckers back then. I don't know. Yeah. George Washington. I guarantee you, they never saw this shit coming. Think about if they dropped in today's world and they saw a motherfucker with a mustache, boobs, and long hair, and boobs,
and a penis.
They would trip.
They would fucking start another war. So I really think that all of this stuff is just like an introduction to more stuff that's coming, but you can't just throw it out there. You have to first. Think about it. If I feel like I'm a woman, I can go in the bathroom with you. Yeah,
like frog in water.
So if we can accept that, why wouldn't in 200 more years, if somebody felt like they were a child, what would be the difference? And they'd say probably, as long as the parent consents, it's okay. Because it's already okay to marry. I think you can marry like somebody that's underage if the parent consents, right?
Yeah, if the parent consents.
I know in some states
you can. Yeah, even in school, if say somebody's younger dating somebody who's older, just in school, the parent can give consent that the older person is over that younger person.
Yeah.
So that's basically saying that it's okay under certain circumstances that an adult can mess with a child.
Yeah.
So
I think it's 16,
I think that's to a limit. I think that's to a limit.
It may be to a limit, but
like a 40-year-old can't date a 14-year-old. No matter what the parents say.
What about a 21-year-old and a 14-year-old? What about a 16-year-old and a 40-year-old?
Is it like 24?
Yeah. What I'm saying is,
I think the oldest is like 24.
Okay, that's still an adult and a child, and I'm saying that under certain circumstances, you can do it today.
Yeah.
So if you can do it in 2024 under certain circumstances, I'm willing to say 100 years from now, it'll just be.
You're not wrong.
All you need is 2 states.
It's
2 states.
A new
state goes into 50
A new study comes out that you're born as a young child and you don't ever mature. Then what's wrong with being with children?
Yep.
Y'all know, I really, really, really want to fact check this and make sure that we're saying the right things, but I am not about to put statutory rape on my Google search.
Yeah.
So we're just going to have to wing it, and if we're wrong, we're wrong.
I'm just basically saying that regardless if it is or not right now, that I feel like in the future, that's what they're doing with everything else. They're just going to, and then this group of people are going to say, well, you allowed the women to say they were, if she can say she's a man and he can say he's a woman, why can't I say I'm a child?
Yeah.
And then I like having, why can't I say I'm an animal? I feel like I'm an animal.
Well, I want to touch on this a little bit because what you were saying as far as if we're going to accept more and more things as society goes on, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think there's going to be a point where society draws the line and what we are and are not going to accept anymore. What I see is what I see more than anything is the media tries to push things. They try to start the argument. They try to start the conversation. They try to create a controversy that's not there. And if I can throw this out there real quick, because this is something I've seen recently, is that they're making a big deal about how much Caitlin Clark is getting paid compared to average NBA spare. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA, new WNBA draftee, how she's only making $300,000 on a 4-year contract compared to a male NBA player that makes a lot more. And it's like the only people making that argument are the media, regular people who have seen the NBA and the WNBA. We already know why she's not getting paid.
Right.
Normal people understand this and they know that this isn't sexism. This is, we watch the NBA. We don't watch the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's mama ain't even going to watch her games.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that issue there because that's, the NBA brings in more money. That's why they get paid more. Everybody knows this. But when you say, every time you say, I don't believe that we are going to allow this, that's how I know you're not thinking about what I'm saying. We are not going to exist. So there's going to be a whole new group of people like when we were children. I don't believe any of us would have wore pink. Would you have worn pink in the 5th grade? I know I wouldn't have.
No, not organically. I mean.
I just know as a kid, like pink was a girl color.
Yeah.
Then they started.
Well, originally it started out as a man's color.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, originally it started out as man's color, and then it went over to women's.
Well, when I was a child,
that is true.
I believe you. But when I was a child, boys did not wear pink. There was no way like you could get bullied for wearing pink. And then it became, the breast cancer awareness. So everybody did it during that. Then the athletes started doing it. And now you have men that just any time of the year, pink shoestrings, pink this, and it slowly became acceptable.
Right. Well, my grandfather, he wore pink. I think he looked good in it.
But that's fine. I mean, maybe on Valentine's Day you might have had a guy dress up with his girl, but I'm just saying in general, we didn't. Now pink is unisex. Anybody can wear pink. Even when you have children, the pink meant the girl, I think, and the boy meant the blue, and yellow if you weren't for sure or something like that.
Yeah.
But now I think if pink can mean boy or girl.
I mean,
yellow if you're not for sure.
No, like people who didn't want to find out, Oh,
I thought you meant like you weren't sure what your sex was. I was like, no. Shit was funny though. I was like,
no, I mean like when the woman's still pregnant, like the baby shower being pink if it's a girl.
A lot of yellow wearing motherfuckers today though. Okay.
Some people didn't want to find out if they were having a boy or girl. Just wait till.
I know what you mean now.
Yeah, I'm just saying how we did things. Men didn't go to baby showers. 20, 30 years ago. No, now it
was just all women.
Yeah, now so there's so many things that change, and as you gradually start to do it, us that thought the old way, we're going to die off. And then people are going to say, oh, no, it's not that bad. And some people, even if they don't agree with it, they're just going to allow it so they can get what they want. You know what I mean? Like if I drink alcohol and you smoke weed and I want to legalize weed, you'll say, okay, because if you legalize weed, you got to legalize alcohol. And then we can both,
Yeah.
But I think like Mike said, things can still revert back to the way it was, though.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think that there's a kind of a ebb and flow with all of this. Yeah. Like, things come in, things go out, and you can say, hey, guys do this, girls do that. It's going to come and go over time. I mean, there's some things that are here to stay just because of how much humanity's evolved. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's really... it's a blurred line between what you can call a man's job and a woman's job. Everyone can kind of do everything now.
Right.
I mean, even hunting, everyone can pull a trigger and go out. It's not a bunch of dudes running around with spears chasing down a mammoth anymore. I mean,
right.
And everyone does everything. Guys, well, some of us have learned how to cook and can actually clean a little bit. So
finally, no.
Yeah, so I mean,
I cooked because I didn't have no choice. I didn't have nobody cooking for me, so I wanted to eat.
Yeah,
that's how I got good at cooking.
Shit.
Yeah, some of the stuff's here to stay, but I think when it comes to a lot of the things like fashion and whatnot, things are going to come and go over
That's
time.
true.
Yeah, it does. Like the bell bottoms coming in and out, and just
all that I agree with. But who's wearing them is going to be both people.
Right.
Dresses are going to come in versus skirts.
Yeah.
But there's going to be men and women wearing them forever.
Yeah.
That's not going to go back to where it was. They're going
to. Kilts. If you think of kilts.
But that's different. I'm not wearing one of them. Yeah. You're right.
Well,
I'm talking about wearing a dress trying to be a female versus trying to be a male.
Yeah.
The dress is different. Like, I agree with you on that, kilts. But those men just believe in kilts are okay. Okay, cool. But I'm talking about when I say wearing a dress, I'm saying a man that's like
trying to be a woman.
You're trying to feel pretty.
That ain't going back. That ain't going back.
Yeah.
Well, hey, y'all. This was a good conversation, guys. Until next time.
Yes.
We will catch up to you. Don't forget to check out our Patreon. Give us 5 stars on Spotify if you like it. Give us 4 or less if you don't like it. We're not going to have our feelings hurt, but give us 5 stars. And
but we will tell you go fuck yourself.
Hey, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, man, leave us a review. That helps us out a lot. And definitely, if you have the opportunity, join our Patreon. But until next time, we will see ya.
Peace.
See ya.
The Gen X Talk podcast was brought to you by absolutely nobody. Don't forget to subscribe for new episodes every week. And if you're really generous, become our Patreon at Gen X Talk Pod. Bye-bye.